This is probably the biggest announcement we've had in our ADC journey. This partnership enables us to go develop similar data to see a significant increase in value and validation on our platform.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for another Virtual Investor What This Means segment. My name is Janine Thomas. I am CEO of JTCIR, and I will be the moderator for the segment. Today, we are excited to welcome back Akari Therapeutics to our Virtual Investor platform, and I am very pleased to be joined by Abizar Gaslightwala. He is Director, President, and CEO of Akari Therapeutics. Welcome back, Abizar.
Hey, thanks for having me, Janine.
Always a pleasure, and it seems like we're always having you back with exciting updates, so can't wait to dive in. But before we get started, I just want to inform our audience that Akari Therapeutics is listed on NASDAQ and trades under the ticker AKTX. And during today's discussion, the company will be making forward-looking statements, and I encourage everyone to view the company's website at akaritx.com or the SEC's website for their latest filings and information. So we're going to set a little bit of a background here. As I mentioned, you're always coming back, Abizar, with some good updates. So Akari recently announced a strategic partnership with WuXi XDC to advance development of its novel PH1 RNA splicing payload. So today we will discuss what that relationship means for Akari's development timeline, its broader platform validation, and how this positions the company within the rapidly evolving ADC landscape. Abizar, to start, you recently announced a strategic partnership, as I mentioned, with WuXi XDC, a recognized global leader in the ADC development and manufacturing. How is this announcement different from the announcement later last year? And also, how should investors think about this relationship in terms of validation of your PH1 payload platform and its importance beyond a traditional CDMO engagement?
Sure. Well, hey, thanks, Janine, again for having me here today. Really excited to talk about this. This is probably the biggest announcement we've had in our ADC journey to date since I've joined the company. And really, what signifies it really highlights WuXi's excitement and support of Akari around the innovation on our novel payload PH1, and that they're bringing their best efforts and expertise to really kind of advance this in a more than a traditional fee-for-service CDMO model, really as a partnership. So what does that mean? Simply, if Akari is successful, WuXi is very successful along with Akari. So we have shared incentives to actually work together to drive a successful outcome. This is really exciting because this shows WuXi's support and their belief in the promise of this new ADC payload.
Excellent. And appreciate that background, Abizar. So you mentioned that this partnership is expected to accelerate your IND filing timeline for AKTX 101 into late 2026. Can you walk us through what specifically this enables from a development and execution standpoint and how it changes your path to the clinic?
Sure. So this is, again, an example of us broadening going beyond just one great provider like WuXi XDC. So we're actually going to enable or enlist WuXi to help us with not only the manufacturing and CMC work to create GMP product supply for our clinical trials, but also leverage their ability to do the final safety and non-clinical work that would enable us to get into those clinical trials, so the regulatory filings. This is an example of using the network of the WuXi companies and their expertise to really drive what we think could be best-in-class timelines to enable us to get to the IND or clinical trial filing stage in a way that's probably faster than what you see traditional ADC timelines by using the integrated network. This is an example of using best-in-class providers at the largest scale to drive differential outcomes and timelines.
Appreciate that background, Abizar. And I've just one last question. So we've seen increasing deal activity and investment across the ADC space, including large strategic transactions. What are your thoughts on recent transactions? And importantly, how does this strategic partnership with WuXi position Akari within the broader landscape? And how are you thinking about long-term development and potential partnering strategies?
Sure. Yeah, great question. And let me kind of answer that in two different ways. For the first way, think about AKTX 101, our lead asset, and how this partnership enables us to drive value around that. Essentially, accelerating AKTX 101 into the clinic to drive real meaningful clinical data. So when you look at the analogs, you just see recently there was a deal announced by Gilead to buy Tubulis, another ADC manufacturer, based on their early phase 1/2 data. That was over a $3 billion acquisition. The future milestones, it shows the power of early clinical stage data to drive value for ADC companies. But there are other examples. You look at Mersana that was recently acquired by Day One, again, for similar early stage clinical data. They were acquired based on that, and then Day One was subsequently purchased with that ADC portfolio as part of that. And then you look at companies like Cytomics that recently have seen a significant valuation increase based on early stage clinical data that was able to drive that kind of increase in its value. So essentially, by us, when you look at those comps, it's all based on the early stage clinical data. This partnership enables us to go develop similar data to see a significant increase in value and validation on our platform. The second aspect is around the partnering, which you just mentioned. So in particular, this partnership enables us to really talk about our PH1 payload in a broader way. And we know that many partners look to WuXi for innovation in the ADC payload side. When you look at WuXi, they've done a number of deals with other companies around their technology and payloads. And often companies see what WuXi is doing to see what the next best thing is. So we believe by working with WuXi and their support and endorsement of our payload to work with us, we believe other companies will see that as a sign to work with Akari and open up the partnership opportunities around this payload outside of our lead assets. So really exciting times for us on both sides.
Abizer, thank you for that. And again, congratulations on your announcement regarding WuXi. This is certainly an exciting time for Akari. This concludes the Virtual Investor What This Means segment featuring Akari Therapeutics. I'd like to thank Abizer for joining us today. As a reminder, Akari Therapeutics trades on NASDAQ under the ticker AKTX. And if you like what you saw today, I encourage you to visit akaritx.com for more information on the company and to sign up to follow the company to receive their alerts, as well as follow their social channels to stay current on the latest information. And you can also visit virtualinvestorco.com for our latest segments and events calendar. Abizer, again, congratulations and wishing everyone a great rest of your day.